Well, howdy, folks, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Woohoo! Yeah, a lot of amazing sports cars around here. Not as many as Johor Bahru, though. They had a ton of them over there. Well, howdy, folks, and welcome to Berjaya Times Square. A mall that, if it was all mall, would be the largest mall in the world, but since half of it is an amusement park, they don't count it as a mall. It's a massive mall in its own rights, the mall side. Well, how you doing, Honey Co and April Ann? How are ya? Yeah. We like to come down here because not only do you have that amusement park, which I'll show a little bit here, you have really the best arcades. So we're talking about an upside down loop-de-loop roller coaster in here, full-blown amusement park, roller skating, great arcades, go-karts. Probably our favorite karaoke place in the world is in here. They got it all. Let's see what's down here. You can't see it from this vantage point, but this thing continues to go 10 floors. Gotta come down, kids. This is my kids' single favorite place on planet Earth to go. There's just so much to do in here, and it's cheap too. Part of it reminds me of MBK in Thailand, which is like a discount type mall. That's also a massive place, not as big as this one though. Up. But welcome to Kuala Lumpur, everybody. I hope you're having a good week. I certainly hope so. As you look at the title, you'll see Big Kevin's name and face. I got a few comments about Big Kevin. Big Kevin. We'll go up here and see what we see. Learned a few things about Big Kevin. I've known him for, 9 years or whatever it's been. However long this YouTube thing's been going on. I knew of Kevin before he knew me, though. I used to watch him, and I watched Aloe and the RRR people, Says Styles. I mean, it's some of the early folks. And then if you go back further, I remember watching. Well, I'm back. Can we get one of these, April? See, they have a Coke Zero as well. Hopefully I'm back. gonna set this on the table here. Yeah, I've been playing with this gimbal now for a while, and still could say I don't have one. All right, hopefully. So, like the title says, Big Kevin, Canoy in the Philippines, RLR. Yes, Arcelia, how are you? HK, if you're there, we're at Mixview. Why don't you guys come on up here? We took two separate vehicles. They wanted to scour over at Mr. DIY, so we ended up taking two vehicles. So, Honeyco, if you hear this and you're not busy, if you're busy in line or something, go ahead. You can get your own, they can get whatever they want. But if you hear this and you can message April what you want, that would be helpful. So in the, oh gosh. Well, I never know if this thing's about to tip over. So, okay. In the title it says Big Kevin, and it's a picture of Big Kevin. Huh? What do they have? Okay.
You want some lemonade or you want that?
Lemonade with no sugar. No sugar. So in the title, maybe I should wait. Maybe I should wait a minute or two here. Anyway, I'll just go back through what I was saying before the thing cut out. I started watching Kevin, I want to say it was 2017 maybe. I remember seeing him, and I saw Seth Styles, Peter Van Dever. I saw a few of these shows. Of course, I was living in the Philippines at that time, so it didn't really appeal to me that much. Most of the vloggers don't show anything of any value. We have people sitting there. Thank you. We have people sitting here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. And we have gosh, they just sat down on my seat. Anyway, so but before that, I remember seeing Ned, and I saw, oh, I can't remember the names, Bud Brown, maybe a few people. But whoever you saw vlogging, they never did any actual vlogging. They never showed you anything. They just showed inside of a room. They didn't really have live streams then, but they would show. It was an extremely sparse vlogging before the live streaming era started, I think, which was 2018 or 2019. And these people are unbelievable. Anyway, Kevin went back to the U.S. around that time, 2015 maybe, 14 or 15, I can't remember. And then he got into vlogging because of Seth Styles. And we occasionally would see Kevin at his aunt's place in the basement. But lately, Kevin, since he bought his GoPro, he's been showing more and more of the grounds. He showed a lot more of the lake than he used to. And he was so heavy before. Kevin was 454 pounds. It was hard for him to get around. Then he lost a ton of weight, moved to Southeast Asia, right? Where he was more mobile. Now he's much more mobile because he's got his knee replaced. And we saw him yesterday and recently doing more and more of these streams and premieres from the grounds. Now he showed the side of the house where he was doing yard work, showed the front of the house. And I saw that and I commented on his stream and I said, my gosh, that is the most beautiful grounds of anybody on YouTube. Lately I've been showing like the botanical gardens. I always go to show, anytime there's a botanical gardens, even in Europe or anywhere, I always show that. I always show it here in Kuala Lumpur and in Singapore because I love flowers, I love gardens. Well, Kevin's grounds looks a lot like the botanical gardens. It's amazing. Quite amazing. And so I said to him, why would anyone want to leave that place? And his reply was he would give all that up in a heartbeat to make his way back to Asia. I had asked Kevin to set up a lawn chair, bring out his beers, and go fishing in his own lake. He said he could do that. That whole place could be quite a paradise, if you think about it. So it made me think a little bit, I know where Kevin lived in Thailand. It was in a real shitty place, shithole. And of course he had the attention of his friends that worked in the bar down there off Soy 7, or Soy 6 was it? I can't remember, no, 7, it was 7. And it made me think. Now, I understand loneliness. I think everybody goes through some period of loneliness. This is not uncommon. But let's look at two different models. One of them is the Canoy model and the Richard Lee Rogers model. So Canoy, we know Canoy, and Canoy is a great guy. Canoy's going through a few trials at the moment. We're praying for him, but he's a tremendous person. He ended up finding, and then he ended up getting married. And so now he's married to Shelda. They've been married for several years. She's a very attractive woman. They have a great life. They have a great life in the church. It just looks very good. Very, very good. Another one that we know that's Kevin's right-hand man there is Richard Lee Rogers. I just saw a picture today of Richard Lee Rogers just popped up somewhere. I don't remember where. And boom, there's Richard Lee. And here comes the chitlins. How you doing, chitlins? And honeycomb. And sunshine. Help mom with the rest, please. Hi, how you doing? And Richard Lee Rogers is another one. So you got Canoy, who has been with at least 3 Filipinos in his lifetime in Toronto. Then you have Richard Lee, who's up in northern New York. And he's been married for, I think, 13 or 14 years. His wife is a nurse. And they have a very nice life together. So I was thinking about it with Kevin's situation. And I was thinking, one option, of course, is to move to Asia. But then you leave everything behind. The other option is to find someone there, like they did, and start a life there in the U.S. And I was thinking in Kevin's case, I wonder if his aunt would let him build a little cabin there on the lake on the other side, a little honeymoon haven where Kevin could actually, you know, continue to do what he does, do more and more social media, get more supplemental income that way, and try to go to a hotbed like Toronto, where there's tons of Filipinas, and bring one to live with him over there in Kentucky. Because I got to tell you, that is the most beautiful property and grounds and lake and flowers and everything that you could ever want. The house itself is amazing. And that way, maybe it's possible that he could do both. Have the person not be lonely, and have somebody that he brings in, a real relationship. And at the same time, stay there and do more of what he's been showing. What do you think, YouTube? I personally think it's a great idea. If Filipina is your thing, there's a lot of hotbeds in Los Angeles, San Diego, Las Vegas, Northern California, Toronto. I think Toronto is the fourth most of any city in the world outside of Manila. And maybe, just maybe, it would suit Kevin because of his medical needs, his family connections, to stay at the Kentucky Palace and bring the girl to live with him there, and maybe set up a fishing show. You have a whole lake right there. Get a little cabin thing going, expand your social media networks, get more money that way. I think if Kevin put his mind to it, he could actually make that happen. It might be a good alternative in going back to Southeast Asia. Tim Diziak is here, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend. How are you? My ice cream disappeared, huh? You didn't get me an ice cream?
No, Sunday got it. Sunday got it. Sunday ate it.
It's okay. Good, Sunday.
Thank you, Papa.
No worries. Did you guys go to Mr. DIY?
Yeah, but we didn't get any.
Why?
Because we thought we could
Ice cream first.
Huh?
Ice cream first before.
Ice cream before Mr. DIY. So good so far, yeah. We're doing quite good. It's a very sunny day today. We've had off and on, rain some days, a little bit. We haven't really had that much rain though. We left Phuket, and then we had massive flooding over there at Jomsalen Mall. I mean, it was up to people's shoulders, it looked like. But the whole time we were there for 5 weeks in Phuket. It probably rained 3 times. Then we got here, we've been here for a few weeks, and we've had very little rain. I mean, we're talking it rains for an hour, 3 times a week. Very little. But today, bright and sunny, and you can't beat it with a stick. Oh yes, Tim, I lost my ice cream to the ice cream thieves over here. And then I've got another ice cream fanatic over here. How are you today, Tim? I happen to see a vlog today in Angeles City. I don't normally see it. The guy was walking around on the streets, and I thought about you.
Just ice cream. Why are you talking to like remember when asked how do you
We have been debating going back to Boracay for a couple months, 2 or 3 months. We have a lot of family members on the in Luzon on Canico's side that would like to spend some time with Ethan. So we're thinking about going back, and then the rest of us staying in Boracay again for about 3 months. We're still thinking about it. Two storms for 2 hours is not that bad, Tim, because if it's 40 degrees and you get a reprieve, and the other part that's nice because you're inland, you're not on the coast, it kind of cools it down and it washes it down. It's a lot like when you're in Bangkok. Bangkok's got really bad pollution, so does Hanoi. Hanoi has really bad pollution. So when it would rain, it was phenomenal because it would be a day or two of no pollution. I don't know about you, I can feel that pollution in my lungs. I had several bouts of pneumonia when I was younger. One of them almost killed me. It was double pneumonia. And ever since, I can feel pollution in the air. Also, I've never smoked cigarettes or anything like that. So I'm very sensitive to when there's pollution. It's one of the reasons why we try to live closer to the coast a little bit. It didn't cool it down. Then it must be very hot. I know that you had heat indexes in the 40s, like 42. I guess a little shower is not going to help that much if it brings it from 42 to 38. It sounds good on paper, 4 degrees, but you're at 38 with 99% humidity. It's probably miserable. Didn't help, huh? Wow. Well, this is what we do. We're home bases in Vietnam. We love Vietnam. But what we do is we sort of move around in our visa runs with the weather. So this month and last month in Vietnam, it's hot, very hot, 37, 38. It's a little bit too hot for my taste. I like it 30 to 32, let's say. So we'll just go take our visa run and stay in another country where it's cooler. Now, if you go back to like a place like Hanoi and you go there in the winter, it's very cooler. It's like 10 degrees. And so we sort of follow the sun or run away from it. One of the things I like better about Cebu than Manila, I lived in both metros and I like a lot of things about Manila better. But one thing I liked about Cebu better was it seemed 2, 3, 4 degrees cooler every day. Typically 32 to 34 instead of 34 to 38. Upper 50s. Wow. That's not good, Tim. You have to wonder why it's that bad there, though. Is it because of all the building that they're doing? They're building so many things there. Lots and lots of building going on at the base, right? And it seems like Angeles City and Pampanga is the real happening spot for growth in the Philippines. Usually in Da Nang, our typical day for us would be an air quality around 17, 18. But you have to remember, there's times of the year where Bangkok and Hanoi and Chiang Mai, they're getting into numbers in the 200 range, which is ghastly. Yeah, way too much construction. I think more and more of that airport's becoming a major airport. People want to bypass Manila. They want to go directly to Angeles or I'm surprised they haven't developed Subic that way more. I know the new Bulacan airport that's going to be opening is going to make Angeles City much more accessible as well. So I think it's less than an hour. But I'll ask that question to Tim, the question I posed, because I was admiring Kevin's grounds, you know. He was showing all these flowers, all these fields, lots of natural beauty along with the lake and everything at his aunt's place where he lives. And I posited the question, why would anyone want to leave that place that looks like paradise? And his reply was, I would give it up in a heartbeat to go back to Southeast Asia. Oh my gosh, 260. That is horrifying. Well, you're from New York. Richard Lee Rogers is from upstate New York. He's in the title. We have Canoy and Richard Lee Rogers are two examples of guys that married Filipinas from, you know, locally. Richard Lee's grew up in Cebu City, but, you know, they live in New York now for 13 or 14 years. And Canoy, who's been with Shelda several years, they have a very successful, happy life with those Filipinas. And I thought, with Kevin, all the extensive grounds that he has, the beauty that he has there, the lake, everything, couldn't he put up a shack out there, you know, a cabin, basically, expand his social media presence to make more money, you know, work a little bit harder, and then bring one of the girls from Toronto or somewhere where there's a lot of Filipinas, bring them in there, or to Los Angeles. If they bring them from Los Angeles or from Las Vegas or San Diego, there's not any immigration issues he has to deal with. And that way he has someone and the comforts of home and the government cheese. I'll tell you what, if you're budget conscious, don't you dare think of giving up that government cheese. It's 5 pounds, that's over 8,500 calories a month. Don't be giving away them calories. Yeah, don't be giving up the government cheese, whatever you do. Well, if you've got medical issues like Kevin does, you know, with his legs, knees, and whatever medication he needs. Well,
It's better for her
well, when you first say it, it almost sounds like you're joking, right? Making fun of it. But the more I think about it, the more I think it's not a joke. Because the aunt has all this grounds, acres and acres of unbelievable beauty, beautiful lake. They could make fishing and camping and all this stuff. He could expand his social media presence to other types of social media connected to hunting and fishing. Bring a Philly, and if you bring one from the hotbeds in the U.S. would be Los Angeles, San Diego, up there by San Jose, they got a ton of them, and Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I think, has the highest percentage. Filipinos are a lot like Indians and Chinese. You see them everywhere. Every country, every nook and cranny, you're going to find these people.
Popping up.
Some would say mushrooms. Some would say cockroaches. No, just kidding. It's a joke, YouTube. Don't get upset. they're gonna be mad. He's such a bad person. He's such a bad man.
We have no right to say that.
Hindi po ni persona.
You will be in trouble.
I heard a new channel today for the first time. Another one of these Filipina this, Filipina that. The lady who was a Filipina talking about how if you come in the first day you meet her from the airport, get her a grab and send her back to her place, and then maybe contact her the next day. Don't try to do anything the first day or two or three. Wait for at least a week or two. And I thought, oh my gosh, this person is so full of shit. You know what happens if you ignore them that way? They're gonna freak out and think you've got somebody else. I listen to all these experts. The craziest ones of all time are all the Filipinas trying to give expert advice to Western men. They're all single, of course, single moms. Don't take advice from a Filipina. Try to remember this one little factoid. Pina Love has like 1,400,000 Filipina profiles. And I think they have like 26,000 male profiles from Western countries. So you're talking like a 30-to-1 ratio. When you got that good of a ratio, you don't have to simp out. You don't have to listen to the Dream Filipinas or the Nightmare Filipinas or the Geo Retreads or anybody else. Take charge of your own life and don't listen to other people. Don't listen to vloggers. Certainly don't listen to Filipinas who are trying to turn you into the simp of the century. Just say no, as Nancy Reagan once famously said. Just say no. Well, honestly, with the Kevin thing, he's conflicted because he's got his family, wants him there. He wants to get out there and spread his wings. And of course, it's lonely. Of course, everybody understands that. But I think the Richard Lee Rogers model or the Canoy and the Canada model is a viable alternative, a very viable alternative. And if you look at an not edesperate.com, what's the name of that site? eharmony.com. Or you can go into these things and you can select the person by race. And you can put Filipinas and Thai girls or any other Asians that are looking to be rescued. And you can find one there that's stateside. I knew a ton of Filipinas in Phoenix. I lived in Phoenix at the end of my US days after growing up in Los Angeles. LA's loaded with them. There's 1 million of them in the greater Los Angeles area. So, a lot of options for you, Big Kevin. But I think that in the past, you didn't take that seriously because you didn't know what you would do with that person there. But now that I see your grounds, how beautiful they are and how beautiful the lake is, I thought, Kevin should be the new, who was that guy that used to be there? Was it Jim Fowler? Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. That Wild Kingdom could take place in Kentucky. You could put your Davy Crockett cap on, get the fishing shows going, teach people how to do that. Get there with your ice chest of beers and your lawn chair and you out there fishing. Set up a cabin for you to sleep in down there. Get you and Filipina out there showing all these gardens, flowers. Both of you can do channels connected to nature as well as the Philippine genre. So this is 100% real, no mocking involved. After I saw how beautiful those grounds were, I said I gotta do a show to encourage him to consider the Richard Lee Rogers and Canoy style. I will tell you this also, buddy boy. I've lived in Asia for about as long as you did before you left. And we move around a lot. I lived in Cebu for a lot of years, Manila, Makati, Iloilo, Boracay, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, different parts of Vietnam, Japan for a year. I like to move around. I like to explore new places. If I had been the other direction though, like most vloggers who never go anywhere, never leave the town they're in, just sit there while staring at the walls and listening to morons on Ant Hill Island, I'd rather live in stateside if I had my woman. As long as I got my woman. I'd rather live stateside where you can drive, where you can get your government cheese and the 8,500 calories a month for free. Your access to the healthcare, the lake, the mansion, the botanical gardens, the flowers, everything. As long as you got your woman there with you. And I know that you haven't done this because you don't think it's possible. But I think it is possible. I think that you can check with Canoy and with Richard and you'll find out that it's possible. Not only possible, it's doable. There's thousands and thousands of K1 visas, even people that come from the Philippines. But in the case of RLR, in the case of Canoy, Canoy found the woman in Toronto. The girlfriend before that, he also found in Toronto. You don't have to go all the way across the ocean to find yourself a companion to be there with you. Anyway, regardless of what you do, I hope you continue to show more footage because it really is fantastic. We enjoyed it a lot, and whatever you end up doing, we'll support you. All right, Tim, I'm going to wrap it up. Take care, Tim Dizyak. I hope you have a good time there. Hopefully, the weather will start cooperating more with you. It's only another month or so, and then it should settle down a bit. I'd give you one of my $88 Walmart specials if I had one, but I don't have it. A handheld aircon. All right, everyone. Keep watching and watch most educational content in the genre. Check out Big Kevin, especially his last uploads about the farm there where he lives and how beautiful it is. Catch you soon on another edition of Biggie TV, also known as Biggie Medicine and Walmart $88 special HVAC Medicine Man. Talk to you later. Ta-ta for